Hi everyone, my name is Megan. I am a medical student at Rutgers Robert Wood Johnson Medical School, and this is how to be a super friend at home. Today we are talking more about learning disabilities, and we're actually going to talk about something called ADHD. ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, and those sound like a lot of crazy words, but by the end of the video, I think you'll have a much better idea of what it means. And that's because I'm actually going to recommend that you watch a read aloud of a book about ADHD. It's called Shelley the Hyperactive Turtle. So if you want to watch this video with me, all you have to do is go to YouTube, and you may need a parent's help to help you find this video, but it's very easy to find. So all you are going to do is go to YouTube's homepage, and at the top here on the search bar, you're just going to type Shelley the Hyperactive Turtle, and this should come up here. And then there are a few different read-alouds, but you can click on this one, for example, and the reader will read the whole story to you. So if you have time, go ahead, watch the read aloud, and then come back here and we can talk about Shelley the Hyperactive Turtle. So I'll just be waiting. You can pause this video, go ahead and watch it. Okay, so if you've watched the video, now we can talk a little bit more about Shelley the Hyperactive Turtle. So let me just get ready here. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed the story. I think it's really great, and it even shows Shelley going to the doctor, which that does occur in someone who has a learning disability. They often go and see a doctor to get diagnosed. So I thought we could talk just a little bit more about the story. And I want you to think about Shelley, and especially how he was acting towards the beginning of the story. So sometimes we noticed it was very hard for him to be still. He was shouting things on the bus. He couldn't be quiet and stay focused. And he felt like his brain couldn't stop. Like, do you remember when his dad asked him why he does certain things? And he said, by the time I think about it, I've already done it. So in some ways, it's kind of like this hyperactivity and ADHD is taking over his brain, and he just can't stop. So I want you to think right now if you've ever had a hard time focusing. And you may be looking back in your head and you're like, well, I've never had something quite like Shelley. And that may be true, especially if you don't have ADHD yourself. But I bet there is an example in your life of a time when you didn't want to focus. Maybe it was in school right before summer break. Or maybe right now as we're distance learning and the weather is so nice outside and it's so close to summer, you may not really be as interested in your teacher's lessons and assignments, right? It may be hard for you to get them done. So really everyone at some point in their life has a hard time focusing, and it may be hard for them to sit still, get to work, and get things done. And I also wanted to highlight that because Shelley has ADHD, this type of learning disability, sometimes his brain works a little bit differently than my brain or your brain. Sometimes he has trouble starting tasks and finishing tasks, and sometimes he feels like he just has to get up and run around, or he doesn't know what he'll do, but he has to get up and get moving. But clearly, Shelley can still learn just like you and me. He still goes to school, he's able to make friends by the end of the story, he's able to better understand why his brain works the way that he does. And in his case, medicine helps him a lot and helps him stay under control and do well in school. So clearly, someone with ADHD can do well in school, and they can have friends, and they can be a great friend to you or I. They just may have to learn how to better control how their brain acts sometimes and how they don't want to focus and sit down. But through lots of hard work, they can do it. So I want you to think right now, what's something that helps you concentrate? If you really don't want to do your work that day, how do you sit down and focus? I think this is a good question. For me, if I really don't want to do things on a certain day, I like to make a to-do list. And sometimes my to-do list can seem really overwhelming. So something that helps is if I break down every task. So if I only wrote down, write my report, make my room, and make my bed, and make dinner, that's kind of overwhelming. There's a lot of things. But if I write down more specifically, like write the intro paragraph to my paper and check for spelling mistakes. And then under make my bed, take the sheets off my bed, wash and dry them, put them back on, fluff my pillows, then I know exactly what I need to do. And as the day goes on, sometimes I like checking off the little boxes. It feels good to get things done. And by breaking up my big tasks into smaller little pieces, anything I have to do seems much less overwhelming. So maybe if you have a big task to do, a big report, a big book report or science project, by breaking it down into little pieces, it may seem much less overwhelming. And that's something that anyone can do to help them focus, whether they have ADHD or not. So I hope that you liked reading Shelley the Hyperactive Turtle, and I hope that you like learning about ADHD. We'll have one more video about learning disabilities. Have a good day. Bye.